right, I will call this meeting to order at 4:31 p.m. And just a quick heads up, if there are dogs barking just crazily sporadic, I can't help that. They do what they want. So just bear with me. But welcome everyone and guests to this very snowy day. I just, like I said, posted the agenda and the minutes from last agenda in the chat box so that they can be viewed. Like always, since VP Rubio left, Advisor Rome will be taking a roll call in the background. And other than that, let's get down to it. Take a look if you haven't had a chance to look at the minutes from last meeting. But whenever anyone is ready, I will entertain a motion to approve those minutes. And is that a motion by Senator Spranick?
Yes, that is.
All right, do we have a second? Second by Senator Zebel. All those in favor, use the hand raising feature now and keep them up. Okay, we only got 3 hands up right now. All right, put them down. All those opposed, then put them up. And you can put them down. And any abstentions, you can put them up now. So pretty sure, does that, okay, quick
Can we do
side
it
thing.
over?
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay.
I'm sorry, I went to the bathroom and didn't get a chance to raise my hand.
Okay, no, that's fine. Hey, we'll give this, give that one a freebie, a warm up. All right, all those in favor of approving the agenda, the minutes from last week, hand raising feature now, please put them up. That's more like it, and you can put them down. And all those opposed, put them up now. And put them down, and any abstentions, put them up now. All right, and it has passed. Moving down for the agenda for tonight. Again, it's in the chat. Take a look whenever anyone's ready. I will entertain that motion. Motion by Senator Sobranik.
Yep.
Second by Senator Willis. All right, all those in favor, use the hand raising feature now and keep them up. Awesome, and you can put them down. And all those opposed, please put them up now. And put them down. And any abstentions, put them up. And down. And that has passed as well for the agenda for tonight. Now, moving down to public comments, we have a great presentation from the dear Kelly McPhee from the IT Council. She's going to do a presentation. So take it away, Kelly.
It's Barbara. I haven't seen, sorry. COVID excitement, seeing people you haven't seen in a long time. Okay, so I'm going to share my presentation. My name is Kelly McPhee. I'm one of the co-chairs on the IT Council, and I am going to share my presentation in a moment. I've just gotten a third monitor. So bear with me. Do you see the big presentation?
Yep.
Shoot.
Yes. Yep.
Stop that. Stop. Can you hear the audio?
Nope. I don't hear anything, at least. I just see
Okay.
the presentation.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So the IT Council was charged with making a strategic plan, kind of like the facilities did, with a very concrete plan of what was going to go on with facilities in the next 5 to 10 years. And so this is what our council came up with as a proposal. we've done the first read at the assembly. We're going soon for a second read. We're trying to do some final loop outs to get any questions or concerns or any comments. So I'll go over quickly the background of the work we've done, and I really wanted to thank some of our student representatives on our council. We have Sean Green, and Jean was on our team, and Eric Zeibel. I hope I said the last name right. I'll be going over the issue statement we had, what we came up with as guiding principles, the tenets that were related to the guiding principles, and the actual policy. Okay, so we started with the charge of, sorry, it's bothering me. Let me go backwards. I'm hearing audio. So let me go see if it'll go backwards. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to stop.
If I may just cut in there for a sec, if you wanted to play the audio, you can stop sharing, and when you share again, can check that include system audio.
Yeah, I don't want to share it. It's just what Corey Chrissinger and I recorded it so people could view it without us being there. So I've got the hang of it now, I think. So like I said, we started with a charge to come up with a technology services strategic plan. We did some research. We gathered some other strategic plans from other universities and colleges like ours and realized that technology changes way too fast for any concrete strategic plan in order to be relevant and sustainable. We realized then we pivoted to a development of guiding principles, and then we finalized those guiding principles and tenets. Okay, this is what the original issue statement was. What are the projected plans and strategies in the next 5 years to manage new and emerging technologies to foster student success? We changed that issue statement to after some research. So the research, like we said, that IT evolves too much and innovates too fast to predict what we're going to be doing in 5 years. Case in point, what happened starting March of 2020. The IT switched gears quickly and switched to doing online delivery and remote delivery. The team and faculty and students were mostly remote, and they started the technology, the laptop loaning and Wi-Fi, so that we couldn't have predicted that in January. So then we looked at other institutions' IT plans and thought that the ones that were sustainable just had guiding principles that direct where their strategic plan is going. So this is the issue statement that we changed it to. Oops. I thought I had the hang of it, and I don't. This is our current statement. What guiding principles will technology services use to shape strategic planning? So is there any feedback or concerns about us switching to that? Are you guys okay? Or you can think about it, we can talk about it in the end.
I guess, could you be a little bit more specific, just so all the senators can get a better idea of what you're asking for feedback for exactly?
So so we changed our issue statement to change direction. Before, we had an issue statement that was looking at concrete what our plan is going to be for technology services in the next 5 years. Then we had to change the issue statement to reflect we aren't going to be doing a concrete plan. We're going to be using guiding principles that will guide the strategic plan as it evolves.
Okay. Yeah. Senators, Senator Willis.
Just out of curiosity, your statement says what guiding principles? It wouldn't be which. Are you only looking at one, or are you looking at multiple principles? I like the statement overall, but I was just curious as to whether or not it was singular or plural, or how you guys were managing that. And I do understand you shifting from concrete ideas into something a little bit more abstract, just because of how the nature of technology changes. So I think your statement is great. I just needed that clarification. Thank you.
Right. There's, I think, 5 or 6 guiding principles that we're using. And the issue statement just guided where we were in creating those 5 principles. The policy statement is towards the end, and that's changed. I'm just showing, I'll show you that in a minute. Any other comments or questions?
It's your time to speak, senators, if you have something to say. No, I guess you can continue.
Okay, so these are the definitions that, there's some definitions back there. These are the definitions that we found were useful as we were presenting this. Technology services is the department that delivers services that involve technology. Those includes information technology, hardware, software, technical support, networking, Wi-Fi, email, telephone, etc. The other one is guiding principles. They are defined as they guide an organization throughout its life in all circumstances, irrespective of changes in its goals, strategies, or type of work. They create a company culture where everyone understands what's important and what's influencing their strategy. And a tenet, they're a basic generalization that is accepted as true and that can be used as a basis for reasoning or conduct, the how a guiding principle will be followed. Strategic planning is an organizational management activity that is used to set priorities, focus energies and resources, strengthen operations, ensure that employees and stakeholders are working towards common goals, establish agreement around intended outcomes and results, and assess and adjust the organization's direction in response to a changing environment. So those are just some definitions that will be helpful as I go into the guiding principles and then tenets. So these are the guiding principles that we've adopted going forward. So alignment, technology services decisions are going to align with the college mission, vision, and values. And those are important in technology services, how they make decisions. We're going to be transparent. So they're going to communicate with constituents that includes staff, students, faculty, and there's also some community members that they're going to make sure they're transparent and communicate in governance processes, decision-making processes, and use of resources. Collaboration is, tech services is going to solicit input from constituents throughout the college and community to develop and implement effective and accessible technology strategies. And the resources, they plan on developing strategic plans that acknowledge changing, evolving resources of the college while providing greatest value and benefit. And accessibility, technology services will provide equal access to websites, information, technology, and instructional media. And that's more on the accessibility for disability resources. Okay. These are the tenets. So we had tenets down here at the bottom for accessibility. When we presented to the assembly for the first time, the tenets were liked so much that they requested we make tenets for all 5 of the guiding principles. And they more or less are the operational definition of what technology services will consider when they're considering alignment, transparency, collaboration, resources, and accessibility. TS in this abbreviation stands for technology services. So previously it was stating that they would follow the mission, vision, and values of the college. We wanted to acknowledge that technology services did a great job of reacting to our new pandemic reality in March, and they acted quickly on evolving conditions, and we wanted to keep that in here. And this is just, you can read all these. I don't know if I want to read all these out to you, but and communicating outages and changes to systems. I've been with the college a long time, and the amount of communication we're getting from technology services on outages and changes in systems has greatly improved, and and they're going to be expanding on keeping that going. Maintaining a service catalog is, we have a lot of software at the college that people are unaware of, and so when they're thinking about getting a new piece of software for a class or a club or a group, just having a list of the software and products that we already have on the college to see if they could expand on that rather than purchasing it on their own. Again, collecting input from stakeholders, providing consultation in early stages of technology selection processes. And this is imperative in helping people understand the scope of, like, okay, I'm going to buy a piece of $50 software, but then there's other things we need to add on that add to the cost, and then there's support of all. So getting technology services involved early in any technology decisions is a great time saver and budget saver. Technology services will just be mindful of their resources, whether it's all the resources that we use to consume using technology. And then accessibility, that's where we talked about making sure our systems are accessible for those who experience barriers. So hardware and software products that promote digital equity, design and implement digital technologies in instructional work and work environments that accommodate all stakeholders, use and purchase multimedia and video materials that are accessible, and follow 508 standards in regards to web accessibility, maintain internal and external web pages that improve accessibility for all, including those with disabilities, and strive to use the concepts of universal design when purchasing, developing, and updating informational technology, instructional media, and other materials. Universal design is something to consider when delivering a course. Does that make sense? Probably should have put a definition of that in our definitions. So this is the policy. Purpose is to provide direction to ensure accessibility, collaboration, and transparency in planning strategy related to technology services planning. The responsible associate or vice president of the college will be the technology services CIO, which currently is Sean Belling. And like I said, occasionally you may get an email from Sean Belling regarding any upcoming system outages or changes. And then this is the policy. And this is changed recently, the new one. The new one says technology services will use guiding principles to shape strategic planning. So that's not a question anymore. So now the policy is technology services will use guiding principles to shape strategic planning. And then again, we have the guiding principles down below, and then the tenets beneath that. So this is where you can ask me questions, and hopefully I can answer them since I don't have a technology expert or an instructor here to explain universal design.
Any questions for Kelly about this? And I assume, Kelly, this is going to get the second read is going to happen next week at the assembly.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, any questions for Kelly about the about this presentation? All right. Well, I guess can you make this send this PowerPoint over to Advisor Rome so that we can view it? And if there are any questions prior to the second read next Wednesday, we have some sort of way of contacting you or someone from the IT Council. Sounds like a plan. All right. But yeah, it was a great presentation. I'm biased because I mean I was, but
he was on the team.
but it's yeah, it was very thoroughly done, and the whole Senate thanks you for coming and having us be a part of it. So thank you very much.
You can email myself, or the email on the presentation was itcouncil@madisoncollege.edu, and I'll send you the presentation, Sean.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.
You guys have a good evening. All
right, bye. All right. Next on the list, officer and committee reports. Executive Council report, President Green. We continue to talk about planning, and we brought up things like Winterfest next week, and possibly canceling our meeting to participate and join in that, and just how to get the budget going and the 3-year plan. So that's pretty much my report on that. And yeah, Dr. I do see Dr. Daniels is in here. Hello, Dr. Daniels. I didn't want to interrupt anything going on, but did you have anything that you'd like to say at all?
Sean, thank you. I think the only thing is I'm probably 2 weeks late, but welcome back. And though we're not face-to-face, which I would prefer to be, we'll be in this type of situation for some time to come. There's nothing really that is shareable today. I know that we closed school today, and I'm anticipating that we will return to our regular schedule tomorrow. So, but I'm sure that there will be some information coming in the evening regarding that as well. Other than that, I'm open to questions if you have any.
It's always a good time. Any senators have any questions for Dr. Daniels, or other students for that matter? This is a great opportunity to ask away. Come on, guys. No questions? Are we too shy? Come on. All right. We're missing an opportunity here. But I guess no questions then. Yeah. You can only do what you can do. But yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
If there are questions, you can definitely. I see Katrina has it, but, you can actually email me, and I can actually try to answer them. And I'm quite sure that I see her up there.
Yeah.
But I also know that EVP Casper has a good idea about what we've been doing, especially in cabinet. So, Katrina.
Good evening, Dr. Daniels. The only thing I was going to ask is, with the rollout of the COVID vaccines, will it be possible for students to potentially get vaccines on campus once we get to that level, or?
I don't, at this point, that's just something that's got to be under discussion. because there's a lot of issues with that. You know, one is the issue of refrigeration. The other issue becomes who is apt to give those vaccinations, and then what is our relationship with GHC regarding that? So I think there's just numbers of questions that need to be asked, and we are asking those because we have a committee that's working on those issues. Joshua is really heading those issues up in that committee. But yeah, I mean, that's just something we have to look at. Because if you look at all the 1A students who are in healthcare, their vaccinations, we set up a partnership with SSM. And that's how they got vaccinated through there. Students themselves may not be on that 1B list. There's still questions regarding that. And if they have to wait to 1C, unless they're 65 and over. There are some students 65 and over. So there's a lot of questions up in the air regarding those types of arrangements that we will be making. I know in some of the smaller rural colleges, they are setting up in their own areas. For example, I know Black Hawk will have their own vaccination center. And I shouldn't say own, it'll be on their campus. So it's got to serve the public as well as the faculty and staff and students at Black Hawk. And I think there's a couple of more that are also doing that. So, and the other issue is being able to have access to the vaccine. Because, you know, we've been woefully behind here in Wisconsin in terms of getting the quantity that we need. And I know that they increased a little bit this week. So I think all of those factors we'll have to take consideration.
That's I think I answered that question very well. All right. Well, then, if there are no other questions, I would say, Dr. Daniels, you should definitely stay. We enjoy your company at these General Assemblies, but other than that, we'll email you, I guess, if we have any other questions. But I think I'm going to keep with the business for tonight and say thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. You know we don't get it a lot, so it was really do appreciate it. So
no problem. Thank you.
No problem. All right, moving down on the list of officer and committee reports, Admin and Finance Committee is vacant, but do you think we could give Advisor Rome a report that we met members of the Admin and Finance Committee along with Advisor Rome and myself met to start going over in more detail, making up the 3-year plan, and we're making progress. That we made a good chunk of progress. So more to come on that. Moving down to Legislative and Rules Committee with VP Boyd. VP Boyd, do you have a report for us?
I do not have a report at this time.
All right, thank you very much. And moving down, Team Development Committee, VP Moreno.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is safe and warm in their houses. I would say that my report for this week is, again, the reminders for the student classroom presentations. If anyone has any particular questions to where to find the links, to where to find the presentations, or even, you know, if you completed the presentation and just want to reach out to me to tell me that you do it, yeah, I'll be up for that. And I would say that that's my report for today.
All right. Thank you very much, VP Moreno. Public Relations Committee, VP Saeed.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
I don't have any report. It's just that I was working on election stuff, and yeah, it's the same thing like the last week. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And moving down to special reports, advisor report, Advisor Rome.
Awesome, thank you. At this point, the virtual office is open. So almost everybody got me their hours last week. So students can start dropping in during the hours that you told me. I am still missing, I believe, Zebel and Weiner. If I can get your hour, or if you already sent it to me, please resend it. Then we can get it officially posted in Wolfpack Connect. And then also don't forget about all of the Winterfest activities. The Senate has a profile for the involvement fair, so check that out. And then all the other activities throughout the week. I would highlight in particular the Winter Mixer on Wednesday. I think that'll be a good time. And we obviously have lost a lot of senators since last semester. So we just want to keep recruiting anywhere and everywhere we can.
Awesome. All right. Student Activities Board, that is currently vacant. Moving down, Housing Accessibility Update is vacant. Digital Equity Update. Senator Zebel, you have a report for us.
Yes, sir. I got a little one here. So, the first round of students have been notified about bringing their devices back. After, I believe, a couple of weeks or so, if the device has not been back, Madison College will send it to collections, and you will have to deal with it from there. So, I try to get those back if anybody has those. 250 of those devices are still out, and those are people who have not re-enrolled. So we're still missing a lot of devices there. We have 58 devices out for this semester. And we are in the process of changing our laptop program name to something that probably benefits or acts better to students. Other than that, that's all my report for is.
All right. Thank you very much. And moving down, the Racial and Equity Committee is currently vacant. I know VP Moreno is going to be temporarily chairing that. Is there any report at this time, or are you still not available yet?
No report.
Okay. And then moving down, Textbook Affordability Committee is vacant. Public Safety Committee with Senator Willis.
I apologize. We haven't met yet for this semester. As a matter of fact, I sent another email to Brandy and she responded that she was still trying to get additional feedback from the current members before they actually schedule a date. So it's still pending for this semester.
All right, sounds good. You'll keep us posted. And Wisconsin Student Government, VP Boyd or Senator Sobranek, you got a report?
I have no report on that.
All right, thank you very much. Moving down to regional and metro campus reports. Reedsburg is currently vacant. Watertown is vacant. Portage is vacant. Fort Atkinson is vacant. Goodman South is vacant. Northern Regional Engagement Committee vacant. Moving down to College Assembly and Council reports. College Assembly with President Green. Well, kind of like you saw the IT Council presentation today, the College Assembly will be meeting next Wednesday, and you'll get a report at that time. So that's it for that. Academic Council. Thank you, Dr. Daniels. Academic Council is currently vacant. Diversity and Community Relations Council, VP Boyd, is she still on the call at all right? Facilities Planning and Investment Council, Senator Willis.
Thank you. We met just yesterday. And basically what we're doing right now is we went over reviewing the charge for FPIC or Facilities Planning and Investment Council and the purpose behind what we do and why we do it. And we're also in the process of preparing for our second read in March. So we asked to not be at College Assembly this month. We're going to redo, make our modifications and come back in March with an update. And Rose Bushhouse and Nina Schultz and I will be the three people presenting it. Let me see.
All right.
I think I covered everything. Let me just make sure. Yep, we reviewed our facility strategic plan, and it's the facilities energy plan that we're going to do the second read on in March. And then again, we touched on anybody who had not had IBPS essentials training, that they have training available on February 12th and on the 22nd, but I've already had it, so
Yeah.
that's my report.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And then moving down, I lost my spot right here. Finance Council is vacant. Information Technology Council, Sarah Zebel.
Yeah, no, you heard from Kelly, and that's kind of what we're at right now.
All right. And Institutional Effectiveness Council is vacant. Professional Development Council, Senator Willis.
I was right to leave my mic open. I'm sorry. We just met on Monday on the 1st. And what we did was we actually received a presentation from Cody White, actually presented the, wait a minute. Scrolling down here in my notes. He did a presentation on the capital prioritization matrix that's used to prioritize any other capital projects like remodels, build outs, et cetera, at the school. And we reviewed that matrix to make sure it actually is now more inclusive and representative, to make sure everybody's included. And we also had a discussion on the PACE survey data results, and we attempted to develop questions in order to get additional information. And what we wound up deciding is the Professional Development Council is going to probably just generate its own survey, because at first we were trying not to do that and to not over survey everybody. But we feel that we may need to actually generate our own survey, and which we'll try to get out in March, so that we can actually ask more customized questions compared to the standardized questions that are in the PACE survey. And that's pretty much all we did this week.
All right. We appreciate the report. Student Affairs Council with VP Moreno.
So we meet next week.
Okie dokie. And moving down, old business items, we do not have any. New business items, we do not have any. Non-business housekeeping items. Now we have a discussion with senators regarding goals for 3-year plan. Since this is going to be a discussion, I would like to I entertain a motion from any of the senators to suspend the rules. Senator Willis, is that a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to suspend the Robert Rules of Order.
Awesome. And is that second by Senator Sobranik?
Yep.
All right. And all those in favor, if you just want to use the hand raising feature now and keep them up. All right. And you put them down. And all those opposed, put them up and down. And any abstentions, you can put them up. All right. The rules have been suspended. So I guess, and I'm going to have Advisor Rome kind of come off, chip off of here with what I'm saying. Basically, we're wanting to talk to, the senators. We want to say, hey, we usually do this 3-year plan. We usually have these initiatives that we set goals that we want to tackle. And we want to see, currently at this moment with the time that we're living in, what issues, what goals do you think that Senate should tackle that are feasible, that are actually something that we can, it doesn't have to be a quick, get it done, fix it, it's over, but something that really would be effective and help towards this, student experience and the Senate overall. And this is where I'm going to let Advisor Rome take it from here and do her thing. And Katrina, you can ask your question now while Advisor Room's doing her thing.
No, just in response to what you just said, I was just thinking right now, the biggest thing would probably be making sure to help our students with their mental wellness and mental health. Everybody's isolated. And as this continues to go on, it gets harder for people to stay stable, for lack of a better word. So, if we could come up with maybe even some work, direct people like to YouTube videos or something to help with working out or something like that. It doesn't have to be mental health per se, but things that people can do to try to de-stress.
All right.
So I can say, before we dive too deeply into specific goal ideas, I wanted to kind of add on what Sean was saying. So typically in the 3-year plan, the goals are the initiatives. So for coming into this year, the goals were housing accessibility, digital equity, and then there was kind of an open one of assess what the needs of the students are, and that turned into the Racial Inequity Committee. Now, I think the number of students fluctuates so much in Senate, and the capacity of different members changes so much year to year, that in my 3rd year, I would say that the Senate has not been entirely successful at really tackling 3 big initiatives in the way that they've kind of been written into the 3-year plan. So my suggestion is to keep racial inequity. Obviously, we have just begun that. And I know that Barbara has some plans to start conversations about what the goals and strategies look like for that. And that committee is going to keep meeting and keep, they'll tackle some things this semester, but also help to set the framework for what that committee is going to accomplish next year. The other goals I'm hoping can be maybe a little bit broader, and not so much focused on a specific initiative, like textbooks, food insecurity, things like that. I wanted to share, I pulled examples from 3 of the orgs that were the goals they submitted last year, because they're really broad, and a lot of these groups keep the same goals on their 3-year plans year to year. They mix them up, they change them a little bit. Sometimes they'll replace them, but they're really big picture of what are the areas that our organization needs to focus on in order to be more successful and meet our mission. So that's kind of the conversation I'm hoping we can have at this point. And I was planning to split you into just 2 groups so that with just 4 people, maybe it's even easier to share ideas than with 8. I know 8's not a lot, but still might be easier just in 2 smaller groups to come up with some ideas. What do we think about that?
I like the idea.
Sounds good. Senator Willis?
That's fine, but the only thing I was going to say is, yes, I think the goals need to be broad enough, because a lot of times what happens is the students will bring issues to us, and that's normally what actually triggers some of the initiatives as well. And so just keeping in mind that there may be a circumstance down the road where students may actually raise an issue, like still having troubles with teachers not following the information that they provide in their syllabus. So if something like that comes back up, we may have to pick it back up. That's the only thing I was going to say.
So a goal around that could be, to keep Senate flexible is how, expand the way that we outreach to students, expand opportunities to get feedback from students. Maybe it's just gathering feedback in general. So I like that sort of thinking of, if something comes up, it still ties in with the goal, but the goal is really broad in publicity around Senate, getting feedback, strengthening the organization, increasing representation, looking at equity, things like that are not so much issue specific. So that's kind of where I'm hoping we can go. But I don't want to tell you what those are, right?
And if I just and I just want to add, obviously we have to put these into like 3-year plan, but I think the way that we get out of that kind of concept is by making them so broad that we're able to address all those little issues. If a student comes to and brings something to our attention, we're still fitting it in the mold of what we have to do, but we're making it so extensively broad that we really have free reign to tackle the issues that need to be tackled for the student's sake. So, yeah.
So I'm hoping to just generate some ideas now, and maybe we can continue this conversation. We only have a month until the plan needs to be finalized and submitted to SAB. But I'm hoping we can at least start here, and maybe the admin and finance committee can refine them a little bit more, bring them back for feedback, keep kind of going that way. All right, are we good to get into 2 groups and kind of brainstorm? I can put this file in the chat as well so you can see it.
Are we doing breakout rooms?
Yeah.
Okay. I do not have that ability. Okay. I was gonna say.
And just all right. So I'm going to break you out I think I need to set a specific amount of time. How does 10 minutes to start sound? 10 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, I'll bring you back in 10 minutes. I'm going to send you to 2 random rooms. And I'll bring you back around 5:28. It's working on it.
I jumped in the thing and it declined me.
Oh.
Now, it says join room again. So I'm gonna try
Okay.
that.
Yeah, try that.
Right. I go back?
Yes.
That we can mark the first time that we have the Senate's ever done that.
Yes.
Woohoo!
We did it.
Go
It's the first
invite
time I've ever
Jerome.
done. It's the first time I've ever done breakout rooms and teams, so I'm glad it worked.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All
Okay,
right.
so should we go over? Yeah, I know I was in room 1. How many was this? Just a room, 2 rooms, or
2 rooms.
2 rooms?
Wait,
Well,
excuse me, Sean. Before you
yeah.
say anything, can you let Mina say whatever she was trying to say
Yeah.
to me? You never gave her a chance to speak.
Yeah, Mina, go for it. If you have something to say, I don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot.
You mean relating back to what we were talking about in the breakout room?
Yeah,
Okay.
if you want.
Well, I was really just agreeing with what you guys are saying about how racial inequity does play a huge part in mental health, and how all around that the students need more help with that and more recognition, and how to get the teachers kind of, because it goes both ways, both for the students and teachers. The stress is there, and it's more so finding that common ground, and how both of the teachers and the students can find a way to connect in a more harmonious way, I guess, is what I was trying to think of, like the solutions that we could do for the better communication without one party being more stressed out than the other. Just find that common ground.
Basically, Advisor Rome, kind of the theme that we're working with was as a broad topic was student success. Mental health being on that. You kind of have some things that relate into the academic policy that we would like, engaging with the instructors. If the instructors are stressed out, how do, making sure they get what they need, or the training that they need so they can operate in this digital environment better. But the expectation that it is the student success is the main goal here, and there are so many elements that comprise of what student success is. So yeah, that's us. Anyone else from that room have anything they would like to add to it, Katrina? Or else feeling like group 2 goes.
No, you're fine. I never did hear Eric say anything. He popped in and I saw him leave out, but I never heard him say anything either.
He said open school back up, which was I know what type of comment that was. That was a non-helpful comment right there. And he knew that he was doing that. That's why he that's why he messaged it. But yeah, Barbara, what did group 2 have to say?
Oh, so I might say that both Alim and Luke will help me explain the ideas. I unfortunately have to leave for class, but but they know everything, and we have specific points that we think will be good ideas that are really general. I mean, we could even adapt them to even collaborations. But yeah, thank you guys, and sorry that I have to leave. Have a good night and stay warm.
Have a good class.
Oh, thank you.
Right, boys.
So we were talking about with Barbara that her 2 main ideas were were outreach and student engagement, which were both pretty they're both pretty broad. The other one I kind of added in was I figured that, hold on a second. The one I kind of added was since like the whole purpose, I guess, of this college is for students to succeed, and I know this is something this is something that's pretty a lot of students do have problems with this. Like I was figuring like something we could add to the plan for the next 3 years is promoting success or helping students succeed in their credits or in whatever they're trying to pursue. I know that this is I think that the Senate is often where I guess like, and the Senate is not wrong for doing this, but oftentimes we're focusing on kind of other things like housing or some or our events or whatever. And I think also it's important to include the main things in college, like or kind of like what the main purpose of college is, which is kind of the credits or the curriculum and all that. So, and then I was thinking we could add that as kind of like one of our broad goals. And this could include anything from, I guess, like promoting programs like tutoring or whatever. There's a lot of room for that. And as for some of the goals Barbara was talking about, she was talking about outreach, so sending emails or promoting promoting the Senate or promoting or just outreaching to people in general, letting them know what's available to them, like the Senate or clubs or whatever. And the other one was promoting engagement. So promoting engagement in the Senate or promoting engagement in pretty much anything. All the things we talked about were pretty broad, and there's a lot you could do with it. So that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's very good. Very good.
I think this gives us a pretty good list of kind of ideas to talk about. And we'll bring it back next week and keep kind of narrowing things down and getting closer to the plan.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, everybody. I believe honestly we don't have quorum anymore. But let's just keep. I do. Okay. Continue.
I said true.
True.
You're right.
Yeah. But we're just gonna continue on just for good practice. So now down to announcements. Again, I'm bringing up that Winterfest. There's activities every day next week. You should have received an email actually, and your student accounts, and it lists all of them. So check them out. Really, it's again, we represent virtual office hours are again they're start up this week. So if you didn't get your office hour, your scheduled time to advise Rome, that needs to happen like immediately. And I want to thank everyone who has started to get into the virtual office and be there for the students. I'm making going over student presentations, just like Barbara said. Talk with VP Moreno if you've got any questions about that. But let's get those done and help continue to engage with getting more recruitment. Check your school email and Teams often. And before I go ahead and ask for a motion to adjourn, I would like to say, anyone have any questions or things that they'd like to say? All right. Well, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. Motion made by Senator Willis. Do a second?
I second.
Seconded by Senator Spranik. All those in favor, use the hand raising feature now and keep them up. Everyone who is a senator can raise their hand right now. Eric, Katrina, and Aleem. I only see one hand up. Am I wrong for only seeing one hand up?
That's all I see too, but I'm having some lag issues.
All right.
Let's consider
let's just call
adjourned.
it. Yeah, let's call it. It's the storms, I think, is really screwing things up. All right. Well, then, I'll see you guys all later. You know where to contact me if you need me. But be safe and healthy, and have fun with your weekend. All right.
Have a happy